Hello everyone. Before diving into today's topic, we want to take a moment to thank you for your support. Every like, comment, and subscription truly makes a difference and helps this channel grow. If you enjoy our content and don't want to miss any upcoming videos, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive all notifications. Now, imagine a cultivated field, not on a Tuscan hillside or an American plain, but inside an orbital station 400 kilometers above Earth, or on a reddish, inhospitable soil millions of kilometers from home. Plants sway gently under the glow of LED lights calibrated with millimetric precision, while silent robots monitor every leaf, every drop of water, every genetic variation. This is not science fiction, but the result of a revolutionary synergy between biotechnology and advanced space agriculture. A union that could define the future of our survival beyond the planet. In the hostile vacuum of space, farming is not just a logistical challenge, but a venture that tests the very limits of biology. Gravity is absent or reduced, water doesn't flow but floats, solar radiation pierces mercilessly, and growth time must be optimized to the second. In this scenario, Earth-based agricultural technologies suddenly appear archaic. This is where biotechnology comes into play, rewriting the rules of farming as we know it. One of the most fascinating fronts is the genetic engineering of plants. Researchers are developing plant varieties capable of adapting to extraterrestrial conditions, modifying genes to withstand drought, better absorb the red and blue light typical of LEDs used in space modules, or even to grow in environments saturated with carbon dioxide. Some plants, like Arabidopsis, have become model organisms. Their simple and well-known genome makes them ideal for experiments involving targeted modifications through CRISPR and cutting-edge genetic editing techniques. But it's not just about growing lettuce in space. Biotechnology pushes further toward the creation of truly closed and sustainable ecosystems. The idea is to design artificial microbiomes, communities of genetically optimized microorganisms, capable of purifying water, breaking down organic waste, and regenerating nutrients. Bacteria, for instance, could be programmed to convert inorganic compounds in Martian soil into fertilizers, making an otherwise sterile environment cultivable. And then there's epigenetic control. Microgravity seems to alter gene expression in plants, making them more vulnerable to stress. Biotechnology allows intervention not only on DNA but also on the epigenetic mechanisms that regulate how genes are turned on or off. It's a new, still partially mysterious frontier, but a promising one. We can teach a plant how to respond to space without changing its genetic sequence. At the heart of this revolution are space greenhouses. Closed, highly automated systems where every variable, light, humidity, temperature, ventilation, carbon dioxide levels, is calibrated to maximize yield. Some experimental modules, like Eden ISS in Antarctica, simulate Martian conditions and test the growth of vegetables in completely isolated environments. These experiments not only prepare us for missions to Mars but also refine techniques that could help feed Earth's growing population, especially in desert regions or areas affected by extreme climate change. Space agriculture is also a laboratory for new forms of biotechnological symbiosis. Some research explores the use of photosynthetic algae as simultaneous sources of oxygen and food, or engineered mycorrhizal fungi to help roots explore alien substrates. Even the idea of lab-grown meat, through 3D printed cell tissues nurtured in bioreactors, becomes more viable when considering the logistical impossibility of raising animals in space. All this isn't just about future missions to Mars or the Moon. The interaction between biotechnology and space agriculture is already influencing how we think about food on Earth. Innovations born for space, like recirculating irrigation systems, advanced growth sensors, or alternative growing substrates, are finding applications in cities, deserts, and developing countries. It's the paradox of space exploration. The farther we go from Earth, the more we learn to take care of it. But the true leap will occur when plants are no longer mere resources, but active partners in space missions. Biosentinel plants capable of signaling dangerous radiation in real time. Vegetables that produce medicine or therapeutic compounds directly in their leaves, reducing the need for heavy cargo. Or, in an even more ambitious vision, organisms designed to terraform hostile environments, releasing oxygen and transforming barren landscapes into livable habitats for humans. As we continue our journey into the intersection of biotechnology and space agriculture, we encounter another crucial aspect: time. In environments where every minute of radiation exposure matters and every day without food production weighs heavily on a mission's energy budget, reducing growth cycles becomes a top priority. Here, synthetic plant hormones, predictive computational models, and accelerated selection strategies come into play, capable of producing harvests in a fraction of the time required on Earth. A futuristic example is the development of ultra-fast growing plants, like genetically modified rice or wheat that can complete an entire growth cycle in less than 30 days. Or layered vertical farming systems that, by integrating sensors and artificial intelligence, maximize efficiency in extremely confined spaces. The precision of these controlled environments also makes it possible to alter the biochemical composition of crops, enriching them with essential nutrients or reducing undesirable substances like allergens and antinutrients. In the not-so-distant future, we may speak of designed foods for each astronaut, personalized on a molecular level. In these contexts, the synergy between human and plant also takes on a psychological dimension. The contact with greenery, the responsibility of tending to crops, the opportunity to witness life growing in otherwise sterile environments has a direct impact on the mental well-being of crews. Studies conducted aboard the International Space Station show that even small plant cultivation experiments can increase serotonin levels and reduce symptoms related to prolonged isolation. Plants thus become more than just a food source. They become companions, emotional anchors, living symbols of biological continuity. Broadening the view, space biotechnology raises profound questions about the very definition of nature. If we genetically modify a plant to survive on Mars, is it still a terrestrial creature? If we build synthetic microorganisms to colonize extraterrestrial soils, are we bringing life where it never existed, or creating an entirely new form of existence? Some scientists speak of an engineered biosphere, an ecosystem designed by humans to inhabit new worlds, which could one day develop its own dynamics, independent of human intent. At the core of these developments lie complex ethical implications. Who will own the genetic code of space-adapted plants? Who will decide what to plant, and where? The possibility of terraforming alien environments or creating self-sufficient artificial habitats raises issues of space law, genetic sovereignty, and even biopolitics. Some organizations are already proposing interplanetary genetic banks, archives of Earth's biodiversity to preserve and, if necessary, disseminate across other planets as an ultimate act of life preservation. These visions may seem like science fiction, but the first seeds, both literal and metaphorical, have already been planted. With the Artemis project, NASA aims to establish a permanent human presence on the Moon, which will serve as a springboard to Mars. Every mission will carry not only astronauts but also seeds, crops, and selected microorganisms. Space agriculture will become as integral to extraterrestrial infrastructure as habitat modules and solar panels. And with it, biotechnology will evolve from a tool to an essential component of the new frontier. Meanwhile, here on Earth, we continue to reap the often unexpected fruits of this research. Techniques developed to grow in microgravity are being applied on city rooftops, in underground tunnels, and in the closed ecosystems of Arctic stations. Plants engineered for space offer varieties more resistant to pests, less reliant on pesticides and chemical fertilizers. Intelligent greenhouses designed for Mars are being transformed into solutions for climate change and food insecurity. Perhaps the deepest lesson that biotechnology and space agriculture teach us is that life, by its very nature, tends to expand, adapt, reinvent itself. And that, precisely when we carry it beyond the boundaries of Earth, we rediscover how precious, delicate, and interconnected it truly is. Farming in space is not just a technical challenge. It's a philosophical act, a declaration of hope, an invitation to imagine a future where humans and plants journey together into the boldest adventure ever undertaken. And on that journey, perhaps, it will be a plant that saves us.